I'm Lina Mathias, Executive Editor of the Journal, and I'm here to discuss the contents of our 11th April 2020 issue. As usual, I'll begin with the editorials. The first is titled Abrupt Planning Looming Hunger. It says that the disruption of supply during the lockdown period is more pervasive than the often reported interruptions at the retailing level. It then goes on to look at areas and make suggestions for government measures that will ensure improvement of the supply. The second editorial is titled Going Beyond Symbolic Gestures. It says that when we use symbolic gestures to build solidarities, we must build them to be inclusive. What sort of solidarity are we building? It asks, and then goes on to say that these unprecedented times of collective anxiety about a dangerous disease that threatens our collective future is compounded for a large majority of the population who are marginalized. The third is our editor, Professor Gopal Guru's column titled From the Editor's Desk. It's this time the title is Univocal Political Symbolism. He speaks about the Prime Minister's appeal to use artifacts to symbolically or virtually fight the darkness seen as the novel coronavirus. And then he goes on to say that the phenomenon of darkness can be seen from many perspectives. I quote one perspective that he is talking about. The Buddhist symbolism of the lamp would suggest the act of holding the lamp first to oneself and thereby illuminating oneself. And then he goes on to say that the relevance of symbolism in socially diverse societies such as ours depends on the normative use of artifacts that are laden not just with passionate appeals but with fundamental values such as the unconditional attention paid to all human beings. The H.T. Parekh column this time is titled The Yes Bank Rescue and its Aftermath, and it says that there is room for debate over the particular plan for rescue that has been put in place. Among the commentaries, I shall mention two. One is titled Deepening Divides. It looks at vegetarianism along the lines of caste, class, and regionalism. The next one is COVID-19 and macroeconomic uncertainty, which looks at the fiscal and monetary policy response to this extraordinary crisis. Among the special articles, we have one on the Indian greenhouse gas emissions, key drivers of emissions. Underlying drivers of changes in the greenhouse gas emissions over time in India are the article investigates this, looking at various complementary approaches to this topic. Then we have Can Payments Banks Succeed? A Trilemma and a Possible Solution. This article examines the new kind of retail bank that the RBI has begun licensing called Payments Banks, and which are meant for the financially excluded sections. So friends, the Prime Minister has announced an extension of the national lockdown until 3rd May. We will of course continue to work from home and bring you the issues of the EPW. Stay safe, stay spirited.